Sup, birds and turtles? Angry Turtles is back once again, and today I've got a brand new video for you, and this time it's a story for you guys. So, if you guys don't know, I like the Owl House. I love the characters, I love the storyline, I loved a lot of things about it. I will admit there were some flaws, but most of that had to boil down to how the story felt unfinished. And that was because Disney decided to cancel it and the story had to be rushed, yada yada yada. You guys probably all know about that. And that's another reason why I don't like Disney. They said the Owl House doesn't fit with the Disney lineup, yet they continue to use it in Chibiverse. So what's up with the hypocrisy there, Disney? You said it doesn't fit with the lineup and you're still using it? Now I understand why Dana decided to leave Disney and go to the indie side of things. So yeah, I like the Owl House. I love the characters. And if I were to pick a favorite character, I'd have to say Luce. I mean, she is
just like me, for real.
Sarah Nicole Robles, the voice of Luce, definitely brings the character to life with her amazing performance. I can't imagine anybody else voicing her. Speaking of the voice of Luce, I actually met her in real life. I've been wanting to talk about this for a video, but I didn't know exactly how I would put this into words because it was just such an amazing experience to meet her. She was really kind, and I know that saying never meet your heroes, but if you ever meet her in person, yeah, she's definitely one of those actors you should meet. The day I met her was on the day that the Owl House came to its conclusion. To honor the show ending 2 years ago today, I thought I'd tell you the story of how I met the voice of Luce. Not only that, I'm going to show you guys a website where you can look up certain celebrities and when they're going to be at a convention, and that website is called RosterCon. Let me show you how it works.
Hoot hoot. So does that mean
This is
Angry Turtles is
RosterCon,
a
and no, I'm not
brony?
being paid
First of
by
all,
them to
no,
talk good
I'm
about
not a
their
brony.
website. This is just
I went
how
to
I
this
used
convention
it.
because
So this is how
it was
works.
the
Let me
closest
type in something
convention
like
near me where I could meet the
voice of Luce. Second of all,
Nicole.
how in the Kentucky Fried Frick did you get in here? This is my vortex that travels across dimension.
Location, so I live in
is that what that
California.
was?
Yes, I moved
I thought it
here
was a
because I'm gonna
candy
hit my big
crystal
break.
Hootie,
I'm
what do
just
you
kidding.
want?
I just
And
want to be in
here's
the
the
video.
event that I went to,
I mean,
BabsCon,
this
which is a
an Owl
brony
House special
convention.
video, so what the heck? You can stay, but you have to be on your best behavior.
Okay. Yay! I'm in an Angry Turtles video. Hoot hoot.
So it was spring break, and I had this opportunity to go meet her, and yes, I had to pay for it. I didn't pay for like a bunch of special VIP passes or anything. I just paid for like a regular ticket, and I met her.
How was the experience like?
I'm glad you asked that question, Hootie. It was actually really nice. I got to hear a Q&A panel and heard a lot of stuff that she did before the Owl House. Like, she was in the Boss Baby Family Business. No, wait, not that one. The Boss Baby spin-off TV show.
Oh, wow. Really? I feel sorry for her.
Hey, it's a job. She needed the money somehow. Apparently, her name also appeared in the credits of Moana. There's a whole panel that you guys can watch on YouTube, and I'll be showing some clips from that, mainly the ones where I'm included for the purposes of this video. Anyway, without further ado, I'm about to show you my first interaction with her. For context, she was talking about Amphibia and the Owl House, specifically the crossover episode that happened. Well, it wasn't really a episode, it was more like a voice acting panel.
Did a virtual crossover. Yeah, instead of Comic-Con, we did like a virtual little like panel.
And this is what I said about the crossover.
I saw that. It was cool.
Yeah? Oh, thanks. It's cool for me.
I then said there should be a movie. After that, she saw that I was wearing a Hexside sweater and had some words to say about it.
Nice shirt.
Thank you.
Some of them are sold out right now.
She actually interacted with me. I didn't bring up my shirt at all. She just saw my shirt and decided to compliment me on it. By the way, it's a sweater, not a shirt, but whatever. I know there was a guy in front of me, so she could have been talking about him, but she then complimented me on my shirt once again later. After that, I was ready to ask my question, but before I could ask, she once again had to compliment my sweater.
All right.
I like your shirt.
My name's Levi, so we both have an L in our name technically.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Levi Lewis. All right. My question is, what's your favorite Owl House episode and why?
I always get the name wrong. It's the one where we first meet V.
Yesterday's lie.
Yesterday's lie, yes.
Wow, she likes that episode?
Yes, she does. She loved the episode because we got to learn more about Luce, her mom, and we got to see this whole thing with the rain, and we got to see V and the witch hunter guy. Speaking of V, we all know she's voiced by Michaela, and I brought that up because, believe it or not, Sarah Nicole Robles is a Steven Universe fan.
Such a big fan. I'm such a big Steven Universe fan. Yeah, and she's the nicest.
Wow, I was always wondering if Luce and her voice actress like Steven Universe. Now I know that she does.
I told her how I was happy to hear Michaela voicing again, and then I said this.
And I was glad to hear Michaela back because shapeshifter for Amethyst and I guess
Yes.
shapeshifter for V.
And this was her response.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought of that. You're
you
right.
never?
No.
She even said I was absolutely right. Afterwards, I told her how much the show meant to me and how I was upset that it was getting canceled.
I'll say I'm a bit starstruck even being here. I'm a big fan of your work as Luce.
Thank you.
And I'm sad that the show's coming to a conclusion, but it's still gonna live on in my heart. Luce is an amazing character. She's actually my favorite character.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of therapy after tonight.
Later, people were able to ask a few more questions, so I got back in line to ask her another question, and I asked her if she noticed any of the secrets in the show.
I'm such an idiot. No. Don't
worry.
What? Fans are asking me, I was like, what are you talking about?
Don't
That's
worry,
a thing.
I didn't even notice it either until people, pointed out on YouTube or the internet.
By the way, when I did this with my hands, I wasn't telling her to stop talking. I was just trying to be like, oh no, don't worry about it. I'm really expressive with my hands, and I'm not sure why. I guess it's just the thing I do. Another thing I learned during the panel is that she's actually really good friends with Sissy Jones, the voice of Lilith. Afterwards, the panel was over, and so everybody was walking over to see other things around the convention or go to the gift shop. But then this happened. When Sarah was done, she went out the opposite direction, so away from everybody, but then somehow she started walking with everybody. I don't know how she got there. She just did. I didn't want to bug Sarah too much because as much as it's cool to meet popular people, there's still people just like you and me. So I made this quick. So I told her this. Thank you for being a part of this amazing show.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't tell her about my personal life. I mean, we don't even know each other. But I did tell her this. I don't remember the exact words, but I remember saying something along these lines. I'm happy you got to be a part of this show. As I said back in the panel, Luce is my favorite character, and the reason is because of how much I can relate to her. I was feeling down for being myself. I felt like such a weirdo. My best friend and I started parting ways, and I didn't really have any friends afterwards. A lot of people thought I was just the biggest weirdo of my school. But after seeing Luce on screen, I felt like I was being represented. During the lockdown, I started drawing a lot more Owl House and a bunch of other stuff I liked. And I no longer felt ashamed of drawing what I liked because the Owl House showed me that being a weirdo isn't so bad. And I'm happy that the show came out during a time where I really needed to hear that being a weirdo wasn't so bad. Now back to the rest of my interaction with the voice of Luce. Also said how Luce was into Azura, which people found weird, and how I could relate to that with me liking my own certain things, like Angry Birds and Ninja Turtles. And then when I moved to California, I felt like this was a perfect opportunity to finally make some friends, because by the time of lockdown, I didn't really have any friends, and I felt alone. She was surrounded by 2 security guards, not like people in suits, but like, I guess people got these VIP passes. They looked like regular people attending a convention, but they basically told me that she had to go. And so I apologized for taking up her time, and she said, no, it's okay. And then she said something really unexpected. She knew exactly how I felt. She said she also moved to California a couple of years back, and how she felt was exactly like me. She was nervous about having no friends, nervous about being in a new place, but she told me that in California, you will find your people, especially at conventions like these. She also reassured that I will find friends that I can have things in common with. And now I do. I've made a lot more friends now, and I'm really happy with what I have in life. I said bye, I thanked her, we parted ways, and I decided to go to the gift shop. And I saw her again. She must have taken a different way to the gift shop because me and her were not walking together. I saw her and I asked her if I could get her autograph. Unfortunately, neither of us had a pen, so she couldn't sign it yet. I had to wait until the autographing session. But she was ready to sign, actually, because she liked my drawing. I'll show it to you guys at the end of the video. That will be the final segment. So eventually, I continued looking around the gift shop. I saw a lot of people giving gifts to the Voice of Luce, which was really sweet. A few minutes later, I decided to leave the gift shop, and coincidentally, I saw her again, but I didn't walk up to her this time because I didn't want her thinking like I was following her. I wasn't. It was just a big coincidence. I was like so shocked. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Am I following her or she's following me? I finally had a pen. I wanted to go up to her, but like I said, I didn't want to seem like I was someone following her. So I waited until the autographing session and I was able to get her autograph. And this is the image she autographed.
Angry Turtles, I'm glad you're being yourself, but, what is this? Why these characters?
I'm glad you asked that question, Hootie. You see, this was going to be a comic series that I was going to release on YouTube with my original character, Magnus. This is what it was going to be called. The Adventures of Magnus, Luce, and Sonic. They were both weirdos who stuck together. I told that to Sarah Nicole Robles, and she just smiled. I didn't tell her the whole story. All I said was, they're just a couple of weirdos who stick together. As the Owl House was coming out, I was getting excited for Sonic the Hedgehog, and so I decided to make this comic idea that I call The Adventures of Magnus, Luce, and Sonic. I was going to release it as a story on YouTube, but now I'm saving it because I've thought a lot about what I wanted to do, and I want to animate, and maybe I can turn the idea into a show. Obviously with original characters, but this is what the characters of the show are based off of: Magnus, Luce, and Sonic. For a while, I've had 3D animation stuff in my videos, like stuff that I've made, and I've been doing that because hopefully one of these days I can work in the animation field and maybe pitch a show. I know that there's a chance that it might not happen, but hey, I at least would like to work for the animation industry. So, yeah. That's my story of meeting the Voice of Luce. It was a great experience, and like I said, I know that saying, never meet your heroes, but if you want to meet the Voice of Luce, yeah, I highly recommend it.
Well, that's really nice. Good for you, Angry Turtles. I'm happy that you got to meet the Voice of Luce.
Yeah, thanks, Hootie. Also, by the way, I'm saving this section right here on my drawing for Ben Schwartz. Hopefully I'll get to meet him one day, but it may never happen. Who knows? Guys, that's it for this video.
Wait, please, can I do the outro this time?
All right, fine, Hootie. Go ahead.
Anyway, guys, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, smack it, whack it, hit that bell. Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's what I say.
All right, and Angry Turtles will see you all in the next video. So now that I'm your agent, what are the pay rates like?
Wait, what? I never said anything about you being my agent.
All right, but he'll be back in the next video. Don't worry, guys.
Yes, I definitely will. Don't worry. In fact, next video will be an Amphibia video, so stay tuned for that.
Yay, Amphibia!